Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back for another Aftermath Live. Manchester United beat Sheffield United 3-0 thanks to Anthony Martial's first hat-trick in his Manchester United career. What a hat-trick it was as well. Two real strikers' goals in and around the 6-yard box and another vintage Anthony Martial finish as he dinked the goalkeeper in the second half to round off his game with a hat-trick and send Martial FC into absolute joy. And we are here to look back at that victory over Sheffield United, the 3-0 win. Obviously, United dominated the possession, dominated the shots. We conceded just one shot on target of Sheffield United's 4 attempts. Dominated corners, and of course we had more fouls as well. But you'd expect that with us trying to win the ball back as soon as Sheffield United did have it. And it was funny because the first couple of minutes of the game, Sheffield United started quite well. They had a lot of possession. They were winning a couple of free kicks. United get that goal, it's game over. And we have the ability to do that to teams. If United get the first goal and they have to then come out and try and get back into the game, it sets up for Manchester United to score more goals as the game progresses. But what a day it was for United. What a day it was for Anthony Martial. And we keep going now and looking ahead to Norwich. The preview for Norwich is up tonight, so there's no United Daily or the Weekly United today. We're strictly in match day mode at the moment, but you're still getting your 2 videos. So later on tonight you will have the preview for that Norwich game, and then tomorrow you'll have a United Daily Live, and of course you will have straight up MUFC, and then Saturday all the match day coverage yet again. Thank you to everybody that joined us yesterday for the review, for the watch along, and of course for the live fan cams as well. Seemed to enjoy them. We had a few issues with so many people coming in the end. I had to juggle like just adding people in and all that. So thank you to everybody that took part in yesterday's video. A few of the members got involved as well, which was great. Really, Tunku getting involved, loved that. Thank you very much for getting involved. And we've got a super chat already this morning from Shay Dillon. Thank you very much, Shay. Good afternoon, mate. And he says 50 million down the drain as Tony Marshall scores again. And it was a joy to watch. I've got my mate text me last night, which was quite funny. And we all remember Pogba's little bit of skill in that game. The great bit of skill before Martial, the worst thing he did in the game, which was take it off his toes. And this is the reaction to that bit of Pogba skill. Absolutely screamed my head off. But yes, we'll be talking about Anthony Martial's performance. We'll be looking at all the latest Manchester United news as well. We'll be having your player ratings. I've got my player ratings ready, and they're all pretty good as well, which is good to see. But that scream, I don't know what happened there. So right now I can see, obviously, we had Shay's super chat. Thank you very much, Shay. But I can also see Roger. Well, hello there. Lewis, Jutaru, John, Colin, Mohit, Paul B, Manav, Michael, Minnie, Jay Reedy's in the house, Jordan Taylor's in the house, Finest Gartry's in the house, More Music Making's in the house, Super Appy is in the house as well, Ryan Milliken, Nafiz, Gabrielle, Trigger, Yuri. Thank you very much to everybody for getting involved here on AdamMcKola TV. And as I said, the game itself was a fantastic team performance. It was one of those performances you come to take for granted as a Manchester United fan growing up. It was one of those performances that, you just look at it, and from start to finish, it was perfect for Manchester United. From start to finish, it was perfect. Apart from a few moments where they had the ball, but you'd expect that. United aren't match fit at the moment. Yes, Sheffield United, they've got a thinner squad. And just looking at United's ability to be able to make those 5 substitutions, 80 minutes on the clock. One, it's interesting because what does that say for the Norwich game? But two, the different levels of the squad were quite clear. So whilst it was a Sheffield United side that have been punching up there above their weight and have been playing well this season, it was still, a Sheffield United side that we should be beating. So games will get more difficult as the season progresses. Teams are battling for more points. But also, we got Norwich in the Cup on the weekend, which is great. But you look at, in a few weeks' time, once everything's settled in terms of top 4, close to being settled. Mid-table spot. You're going to be coming up against teams that have got nothing to play for and are going to be treating it like it's a pre-season tour or pre-season friendly almost. So that may play into United's hands as well. But we do have a few fixtures. You're looking at Brighton, Aston Villa. They're fighting against relegation. It's all very tight there at the bottom of the table. So, we've got to bear that in mind as well. Teams are going to be up for it. And whilst our games look a little bit easier on paper, it's not always going to be that easy. But a very good win against the Sheffield United side that we drew 3-3 with earlier in the campaign and at their stadium. So a very good result for Manchester United yesterday. And one where we played well, but like Ollie said after, there's more to come. There's more to come. And there is more to come. Marcus Rashford should have had 2 goals yesterday. Now, I say that, but I do have to acknowledge the fact that, when Martial ran through on goal, it looked like Martial was going to shoot and Martial should be scoring. He then had a touch which was a little bit too heavy and the goalkeeper got very close to him. Now, he passed it and, at that time, after his touch, that was the right thing to do. But his touch should have been better and he should have scored himself. He didn't. He gave it to Rashford. I don't think Rashford was expecting the pass. He should have been expecting the pass. Obviously, you always have to be ready for these things. But I think it was a mix-up almost in between both of them. Martial was thinking he was going to shoot. Last minute changes his mind. Rashford's probably thinking he's going to shoot. And the last minute Martial changes his mind. But Rashford still should have scored. And I felt like that was an opportunity that both of them missed. You can't just blame Rashford. And you can't just blame Martial. They both could have and probably should have put Manchester United. I think it would have been 2-0 at that point in time. And then Rashford, Bruno was loving those little dinks and flicks, just around the defenders. And there was a few link-ups in there. And it was fantastic to see. And one of those brought that volley chance for Marcus Rashford. Pogba with a fantastic ball over the top. And you just think the team's not yet fully clicking. The team's not yet fully fit, fully match sharp. And we're doing these things on the pitch. So it does bode well for the future of Manchester United. And it does bode well for the rest of the season that we're not yet quite there. But we are still playing well. And we're winning these. Well, we've won this game comfortably. 4 points out of 6 as well from games against Spurs and Sheffield United isn't actually a bad return. Now, as I said after that Spurs game, you draw that game and you draw against Sheffield United and you start to rue it a little bit. You beat Sheffield United and you look back and you think, wow, 4 points out of 6 is a good tally to get. So I think we can now look back on that Spurs game as a point gained. Now, we're 6 points behind Leicester City and we're I think it's, let me just double check on Chelsea. I think it's 2 points, but I might be wrong and they do have a game in hand. So the standings here, yeah, we're 2 points behind Chelsea and they have a game in hand. So their game in hand is tonight against Man City. They're at Stamford Bridge. Man City are going there. Man City need to win to keep the title race going. Obviously that's over, but they've got to win to keep it going into the game at the Etihad, and I'm sure they won't want to lose the title in that game or at their home stadium. So they'll be trying to do everything possible not to make that happen. Even a City draw today would do me. Chelsea going 3 points ahead of us with about 8-7 games remaining. I'd be quietly confident with that because I think Chelsea will drop points. It's just whether we can make sure we're winning all of our games and getting all of the points that we need. D-Miz is in the house. Chad Ferran's in the house. Gabriel Trigger. McKeel's in the house saying hit that sub button. And yes, guys, get hitting that subscribe button. Get liking, get commenting, get sharing, and get involved in AdamMcKola TV. Thank you to those that have become members on the channel as well. I appreciate every single one of you. We wanted to hit 100 members by the end of June. We're now over 100 members. Only a couple over, but we're over 100 members. We hit it earlier than expected. So thank you very much. We're going to have a new members only video coming out in about 4 or 5 days time as well. So make sure you get in on that. And there's a few other exclusive videos and you get to join the Discord, which was popping last night, and all that other good stuff. And if you're in the Discord, when we do those live fan cams, I'll ask if anybody wants to join the fan cams, and you'll be able to get your chance via that. It's difficult for me to send a StreamYard link in live chat on YouTube because StreamYard limits you to 6 people in the studio at once. So if I get loads of people just clicking the link, it's going to be a fucking hellhole. But nevertheless, that's one way you can get involved if you want to be on the fan cams. And as soon as I can, update the system that I'm using, and, you know, maybe get a Skype screen behind me, or Skype on here, or, you know, something like that, then we will do that and get more of you involved. But right now, that's the way you can get involved. Mini can't get that scream out of their heads, and if you want to know what scream they're talking about, it was the scream after Paul Pogba did that great bit of skill, and it was this. Let's have a look. Sorry, it's on my phone, a little bit unprofessional, but I didn't realise, yeah, that fucking scream. I didn't realise, yeah, that you could hear the commentary on my stream. I didn't realise you could hear that, so annoying. Hopefully my video won't get pulled. Bud the Red, I will bang up another Discord link as soon as I am finished here. No worries, Regatale. Afternoon, Sean, Salonis, Rivash. Thank you for joining us. So let's move on now to the player ratings from yesterday, and as you expect, they're going to be quite good, aren't they? They're not going to be bad player ratings at all. So let's get these player ratings up right now for you guys. 1 second. There you go. Got the player ratings up there. Now what I want you to do in this part of the show is get your own player ratings in, so I can read some out as I'm going through. Obviously I won't be able to read everybody's out, so I do apologize if that's the case, and I don't read yours out there, but do get your player ratings in those comments. This is the part of the show where you can get involved. Is that your scream or tortoise porn? I'm not sure which one it is, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was the latter. So yeah, get your player ratings in. These are my player ratings. David De Gea a 7, Wan-Bissaka a 7, Lindelof and Maguire 7, Shaw a 7, Matic 8, Pogba 7, Bruno 7, Rashford 7, Martial 9, Greenwood 7. I gave everybody that came off the bench a 6. They had 10 minutes to make a difference in the game. It was pretty difficult for them to do that, but you know, they didn't do badly, and I think you always start on a 6. But 7s all round for Manchester United starting lineup, which completed most of the game. Matic getting an 8, Martial getting a 9. I probably could have pushed Wan-Bissaka's rating to an 8, so I kind of agree with more music making on that, saying Wan-Bissaka should get an 8. I disagree with saying Luke Shaw should get a 6. I don't think he was bad. I think he could have done more, and that's fine if you think that. I think he maybe could have done more, but I just think it'd be unfair to give him a 6. I thought the team did quite well yesterday. At the start of the game, first half an hour, Lindelof was very good as well. Sean agrees with all of the ratings, and a fair few of you, Vivek, Abhishek, Clayton, are loving the India jersey as well. I love this. I got the away shirt as well, which is great. Matic a 9 to Super Appy and Mohit. They want Matic to get a 9. Now, I can totally see why you'd think that. Nemanja Matic played fantastically well against Sheffield United. And what I liked about Nemanja Matic was his ability to just sit there alongside Lindelof and Maguire, not get sucked out of position, and allow Shaw and Wan-Bissaka to go forward with ease. That was the position and the shape we were always falling into as we progressed through the game. 3 centre halves, one of them being Matic, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw going, Pogba and Pogba sitting quite deep and being able to pull the strings, give the ball to Bruno, who was ahead of them and also coming back. And then you of course had Rashford, Mason Greenwood and Martial, who were quite fluid. Martial kept his spot in between that 18-yard box, but there was times where Rashford was dropping middle of the pitch, playing almost as a number 10 and playing some fantastic passes. His eye for a pass was on yesterday. That's why a lot of people thought his performance was poor, and I think his finishing was poor. He should have got a goal yesterday. If he gets a goal, you don't do too badly. You don't think he's played too badly. But I thought his all-round play, his passing, his link-up play was very, very good, which you want to see as well. He's getting into the areas for chances. So that's all you can want. We got Prince Varghese with another super chat. Thank you very much, bro. Always seeing you on here, so I appreciate that. And he says your scores are spot on, although he'd give a Matic a 9 out of 10. And a few of you have said 9 out of 10 for Matic, which is absolutely fine. I can hear that. Course Club thinks Pogba and Bruno should get an 8 out of 10. And he agrees with Maguire for a 7 out of 10. I was interested to see, like, Bruno was getting, obviously a lot of people were defending him yesterday because I think a few were moaning about him giving the ball away. I didn't see much of that, but I did see a lot of the defence of him. And what I don't get is, like, people that are going to criticise him for giving the ball away. He's going to do that at times. He's got to make risky passes. He's got to do risky things. He's got to try and make things happen. And that's exactly what he does. So you've got to accept that sometimes he'll give the ball away. It's the same thing I used to say about Paul Pogba. People used to get really frustrated about him giving the ball away in certain areas. And it's like, bruv, that's going to happen. You don't want him doing it on the edge of your box. But you want him trying things. And if he tries things, then it's going to be beneficial to the club more often than not. Stoic Savage is in the house, and he called the Anthony Martial hat-trick yesterday. So well done to Stoic Savage there. I really should be giving Martial a 10 out of 10, shouldn't I? When you get a hat-trick on pro clubs, you get 10 out of 10. So maybe I should have done that. But I thought, look, I think there's still a lot more to come from Anthony Martial. I'm a massive, massive fan of his. But you're probably right. We have got Norwich City next, which is... I don't know what to expect of that game, to be honest with you. What kind of team are they going to put out? They've obviously, they're in a relegation battle at the minute. They're probably going to go down. Are they going to take the FA Cup seriously? Are they going to focus on trying to do the impossible and save themselves? They're 6 points away from the drop at the minute with 7 games to go. So they do need to win a fair few of their games to have any opportunity of staying in it. But, what kind of team are they going to bring out against United? I don't really know. Neil, how you doing, brother? Prince says Bruno will lose the ball, but he's so creative. The gains far outweigh the losses, something that we have missed for years. What's your thoughts on the centre-backs? Do you think Bailly would fit in more than Lindelof, especially after when he played against City? He basically carried the back. Correa. I wanted Bailly to start yesterday. Now, I'm not going to come out here and criticise Lindelof after the performance he put in yesterday. But overall, I felt Bailly would be a better partner for Harry Maguire. I was impressed with Lindelof's performance yesterday. He was probably the better out of the two centre-halves, although him and Maguire have got the same rating. In my player ratings, I just felt he was probably the one that edged it out of the two, particularly in that first half. I've seen a clip of... you'll see these things more often now because there's no fans at games, so there's no live crowd. But you could hear Harry Maguire shouting messages to Luke Shaw to fucking stay switched on and things like that. And you need your captain to be doing that. I think that's just football. Those things happen 10 times a game, 20 times a game. So people reading lots into that doesn't make sense. But, you shouldn't have to get told to keep switched on that early in a game. I don't think Ollie will bring the changes as much as people think. It's still a Premier League club and we want to win it, so he might rest 2-3 players. It won't be wholesale changes. There is a game against Brighton on the Tuesday though, isn't it? So there's another quick turnover in terms of fixtures, and I reckon he will rest 1 or 2. Wouldn't be surprised to see Romero come in maybe. Maybe see someone like Mata starting, McTominay starting, Fred starting, Igalo. I wouldn't be surprised to see those kind of changes happening. But 1 or 2 of the main men may start. He's going to keep some of those players in the team, and you've obviously got the ability to make as many substitutions as 5. So when you can do that, it opens things up for you a little bit more. Pogba's only going to get better with Bruno. They're taking the pressure and limelight off Pogba. It's true, he is taking the pressure and limelight off Pogba. And it'll allow both of them will take the limelight and pressure off each other. Same with Rashford and Martial. I loved Martial's response yesterday. Let me find that quote from Anthony Martial. It's a really good response when people asked if there's a little competition going on between him and Rashford. Now, healthy competition is always something that's good, and there will be a healthy competition there. But Martial said, there's no competition between me and Rashford. You see, he gave me 2 assists today. I gave him a chance to score. There's no competition. We just want to win. And that's the kind of attitude that you want from those two players. You've seen Rashford's face when Martial made his hat-trick. He was beaming from ear to ear. It was almost like Marcus Rashford had scored the hat-trick. Now, obviously, when he went off the pitch and he's sitting there and he's thinking, I haven't scored today, I should have scored, he's going to be frustrated. You want that edge. You want him to want to score. But Martial scoring doesn't mean that Rashford isn't going to score. Or Martial getting the limelight doesn't mean Rashford can't get the limelight. And people that pit those two together really piss me off. They both play for Man United. And more often, it's not like they're both playing in the same position. More often than not, they'll both be on the pitch. They've struck up a great relationship together. I don't know about off the pitch. I don't know them personally. I don't know. But when you look at them on the pitch, they look like they love to play with each other. They like each other. And, you know, there's a chemistry there. And I love that they want each other to do well. They came into the team at a very similar time. Martial doesn't get injured. Rashford doesn't come into the team. So there's going to be that bond there. They've been there through Van Gaal, through Mourinho, and now here with Oli. So, you know, they're going to have a huge respect for each other, and they're going to want each other to do well. They will see each other when they're at their lowest or when they're at their highest. And they'll see themselves in each other in terms of, you know, it's not nice when you don't score. I want him to score. And it's great to see their relationship, and long may it continue. Thoughts that Lingard hasn't played a minute since we've been back, says Vinesh. It is an interesting one. You'd have thought that he would have maybe come on for the last 10 minutes yesterday at least. He didn't. Now, I don't know what that means for his future, if he's got an injury or not. He wasn't on the bench yesterday, so I'm not too sure. But fingers crossed it's not an injury or anything like that. Rashford was so pissed off at himself. Great to see that hunger, says Bod the Red. Definitely great to see that hunger. Abhishek, how you doing, mate? Sean says, I was happy with how frustrated Rashford looked on the bench when he went off. Showed he knew he should have scored. Yep, he most definitely should have scored. But yeah, great to see them there playing together. And of course, with that friendship slowly building. Sean thinks Lingard's time is done at Manchester United. I think it's a little bit early to say that, but he's someone that's going to have to fight for a spot if he wants to get back into this team, especially when you look at the competition that is ahead of him. Ruvez says Martial should get 10 out of 10 just for the smile, and it was great to see him smiling yesterday after that match. A beaming smile, wasn't it? It was a great day for United yesterday. Long may it continue. That's 14 games I think it is unbeaten now. Not 13? Let me check. There's a great tweet by United Reports Elliot. During Manchester United's current 13-game unbeaten run, 33 goals have been scored, 3 conceded. So in 13 games, we've got a goal difference of 30, resulting in 10 clean sheets. So 10 clean sheets in those 13 games. 8 of those were for David De Gea. Opponents include City twice, Chelsea, Spurs, Wolves and Sheffield United. Pogba and Rashford have been available for selection just twice. Now that is a fantastic bit of reading for Manchester United fans, and it shows you the direction and the progression that we're having. We need to keep it up though. We need to keep going, and we need to make sure we're there or thereabouts at the end of the season for Champions League football and those trophies that are being handed out in terms of the Europa League and the FA Cup. Wrapping off the season with a trophy with Champions League football would be a huge boost going into the next campaign. It means you can sign the players that you want in the transfer window. There's been more talk about Jadon Sancho today, and talk that United are the only team that are in for him. And when you hear those kind of things, it means that, you know, United are likely to be able to sign him. If you can add him to this team, how do people, that United are looking at and they're watching United play, they'll be looking at that thinking there's something going on there. We got to keep it up though. We can't let the wheels fall off. We can't get excited. We can't get carried away. Martial needs to keep improving, keep performing. Rashford, Greenwood, they all need to keep improving and keep performing. And we need to keep performing. We've got games coming thick and fast. We've got a game on Saturday, game on Tuesday, FA Cup game, get into the semi-finals. Who knows who we're going to get? There's still a few tricky teams left in there. But if we can get to the semi-finals of that competition, we'll be one of the favourites and we'll be up for anybody. We'd fancy beating anybody. You know what I mean? When you look at that record, and I'll read that stat out again, thanks to United Reports Elliot, you are Elliot on Twitter. During Manchester United's current 13-game unbeaten run, 33 goals have been scored, 3 conceded, 10 clean sheets. Opponents include Man City twice, Chelsea, Spurs, Wolves and Sheffield United. Pogba and Rashford have been available for just 2 of those games. Incredible, incredible stat. Mini, thank you for holding it down in the comments, and of course you as well, Mikey. The admin team are great here in AdamMcKola TV, and I'm loving the community that we have built here on AdamMcKola TV, not only in the Discord with the members, but also with everybody else, the subscribers that are always in the live chats. Thank you for getting involved. Make sure you're liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing. Make sure you're joining if you can as well. Tony to get 25 goals by the end of the season. Hopefully United way we'll get to see that. At the start of the season I said Rashford and Marshall need to get 50 between them. They're on 38 now. They're both 6 away from getting 25 each. Now if they come a little bit short of that, it doesn't matter, but if they both get well into the 20s, I'd be happy with that, because that's where they need to be. And then next season you look at it, a full season with the service of Pogba, Bruno, all those players, you know, they'd be on for 30 plus. So yeah, it's all a good progress, and it's all keeps moving in the right direction. We got almost 600 people watching, but we've got 115 likes. Can you get hitting that like button for me on this video, please? It'll be a massive help, and it don't mean you have to do anything or go anywhere. You just have to hit the thumbs up in it. So get doing that. And I'll read out some more of your comments. Solskjaer 9 should have been 5-0 easy, says Andy. That's fair. Yes, Neil. I haven't got no number on the back of this shirt. Shout out Aditya Reds, who sent me the 2 jerseys. I was looking for them everywhere, couldn't find them. They were obviously available in India, and Aditya sent me some out. Remaining games, all W's. Fingers crossed. I don't want to get carried away just yet, just in case we don't and we mess up against Norwich. There's always that uncertainty, but we're going into every game and you're thinking, you know, we can win this game no matter what happens. No matter what happens, we can win this game. Now, this is normally the time for United Daily. Now, there's no United Daily today, but we can still get an on this day, 25th of June. On this day, in 1988, so a year before I was born in 89, Saturday 25th of June 1988, Arnold Muren, the first Dutchman to play for Manchester United, helps Holland win the European Championship. The midfielder lays on Marco van Basten's wonder goal, which is considered one of the greatest ever at the tournament, in a 2-0 final victory over the Soviet Union in Munich. Muren had made a winning debut for the Reds in a 3-0 First Division win over Birmingham City 6 years earlier. The following season, he had helped United lift the cup, the FA Cup, by beating Brighton in the final with his creative midfield promptings. So on this day in 1988, Arnold Muren, the first Dutchman to play for Manchester United, helped Holland win the European Championships and had that assist for Marco van Basten. So that's a little bit of on this day knowledge. As always on AdamMcKola TV, usually on United Daily. Now if you're a new viewer on the channel, if you're new, which you could be, one of these 600 people, if you're new, then United Daily Live is live every single day at 12 PM when there isn't a match day going. And then the day after a match, instead of United Daily Live, we have this, but we're still live at 12 o'clock. So live content at 12 o'clock every single day, apart from match days when you have a watch along, live fan cams and a review. Then you also get other strands, but obviously match days affects them. So throughout the week, you'll also get something like the Weekly United Premier League Gazette, which is Monday. Weekly United is supposed to be Thursday. Today we've got the preview, for example, so there's no Weekly United. Tuesdays you have the Rumerator. Wednesdays Master Debaters. Fridays Straight Up MUFC, which is here on Friday. Saturdays Football Manager kind of content, but obviously we've had a lot of match days, so that's kind of slowed up. But as soon as we have a free Saturday, you will get some of that. So make sure you're hitting that like button, commenting, sharing, subscribing, joining if you can as well. Martial Electric now is FC Martial reacting. Is it book club today? I didn't get the memo. Oh, Adam says Mini. It was a little bit of book club. It's not completely book club, just a little bit of on this day stuff. We'll save getting into one of these books, or the yearbooks, or the fanzines, or the trivia books for another day, maybe tomorrow on United Daily Live. So guys, thank you for tuning in today. We have got a couple of minutes left. If you want to get any more questions in, if you want to get your player ratings in, I gave 7s to everybody that started: De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw, Pogba, Bruno, Rashford and Greenwood. Apart from Matic, who got an 8. Martial, who got a 9. Everyone that come off the bench got a 6. They played 10 minutes, so you know what's going on there. But there you go. Guys, cheers for jumping on. Thank you for being with us. Make sure you keep it locked. For later on, we have the preview ahead of that Norwich game, and it's going to be a good one as well. We're all feeling very, very good about things and about life. So you'll have a very good preview later on today. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Make sure you're keeping it locked. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And for now, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here. It's alright.